Alright, it's time for the secret sauce. It's time to sort by lighting scenes. Do not skip this video. In fact, watch it once, twice, 6 times until you understand it. You get the concept. The concept behind here is different than I'm sure you've heard before. But what we're going to do is we are going to now sort all of our images based on tone. And what I mean is when we edit photos, we do different things to different types of photos. However, there are only so many different types of photos that we'll shoot on a wedding day. So many different tones of images, so many different kinds of lighting. And it all goes into our system or our process that we're using to photograph weddings. We're looking for the same type of light each time. We're looking for the same type of rim light or front light or side light or window light. And though it seems like there are many, when we look at each of the different types or tones of images and the way we edit each of those tones, there aren't a whole lot. In fact, we have 9 that we're going to look at, 9 that we're going to look over, which covers pretty much all of the photos that we ever take at a wedding. So remember, the point is that we're going to get as far as we can, as quickly as we can, in finishing all of the wedding photos. So here are the different scenes that you have on a shoot. We start with our window light scene, which is anything that is indoors lit by natural light through a window or a small slit or a getting ready room, usually indoors, and oftentimes the way that we shoot the start of a wedding day.
You've got your full shade or cloudy day. So if it's an overcast day, anything you shoot on a darker background is going to be shady or full shade. You've got full sun, where the sun is shining on the couple's face or on the subject's face, especially during ceremony. This is often the case. You've got blue sky images. You know, when we want to bring out our blue skies, when we want beautiful natural photos with those little white puffy clouds, we're going to edit those a little bit differently than we do other photos. Rim light. So using the sun as our rim light and shooting into the sun onto a dark background, we're going to treat a little bit differently. Any images with a white background, a full white background, which would be a high key image. We're gonna process those a little bit differently, and ones especially later in the evening, reception, dinner, where we're shooting with flash, those we're going to process differently too. Then there are different types of images that aren't necessarily based on tone, but we're still going to do different overall adjustments to those images, such as the details in the decor. You know, the flowers and the room decor. They're going to be able to handle clarity. They're going to handle contrast and saturation better than human skin can. So we're going to handle those ones a little bit differently. Family photos, we want to be uniform and equal and beautiful and warm. During the cocktail hour and photojournalistic moments, we can process those a little bit differently as well. So we're going to start by now resorting the images based on those tones. Then what we're going to do is we're going to build presets in Lightroom for each of those different tones that we're shooting. I've got my gallery here into Lightroom. I've got my smart previews built. So we're going to need to know all of the different labels that we're going to apply to the different photos as we sort through, so we can easily apply our specific presets for that tone once we're finished this step. So our 1 stars are window light. Our 2 stars are shady or cloudy day. Our 3 stars are dramatic images. Dramatic, wide landscape, high saturation, high contrast images. Our 4 are high key or white backgrounded images. Number 5 is blue sky. So anything with a blue sky that you want to enhance the saturation of the blue. Our 6, which now gets into our color labels in Lightroom, is our decor and details. 7 is family photos. 8 is cocktail hour or photojournalistic moments. And 9 is reception flash photos. We're also setting up our Lightroom catalog to name our color labels properly, name our color labels the way that we want them sorted. And to change those, you're going to find that here under the library module, the metadata setting, color label sets, and you're going to edit. And you're going to make a custom color label set and label these each of the different tones that you're going to use in selecting. Now what we're going to do, what I've done, I've got a big list up above my computer to keep me straight. A written paper form that has numbers 1 through 9 and which item is being sorted by that number. So number 1 window light. I can reference until I memorize this to the point where I don't need the help. But for the time being, while you're learning this, make yourself a list, put it up above you, just above your computer screen, so that you can reference it. Now, the way that my brain works is I want to see the task as being finished. I want to get rid of the easiest things to do first, and then go on to the more specific, but get those big chunks of things done first. So 2 different options that I've selected here within Photoshop. I'm going to change my selection here to right here beside the stars. There's a greater than and equal sign, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to change that to the rating is equal to, and I'm going to make it 0. So I've selected all of the images that I've 3-starred in my culling process, and I've erased all of that. So I've got a blank library, no ratings, no color labels. I've erased all those from the culling process, and I'm going to select here rating is equal to 0. So if I choose 3, nothing's going to be there, or 2 or 1, because everything is zeroed. So rating is 0, and I'm going to select this one on the bottom right, which is show photos that are unlabeled only. Okay, so what I'm saying is as soon as I apply a color label or as soon as I apply a rating, that image is going to disappear. So if I put a 3-star on that, it's just going to disappear altogether. If I select 30 of them and I 3-star them, they're gone. So I'm only seeing the ones that I haven't yet gone through the process. And for my brain, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my thumbnails a whole lot smaller so I can see a whole lot more images. And I'm going to pick out the ones that are easiest to find first. So for me, what that is choosing my blue sky images first. Okay, so these ones I'm all going to want to make into blue sky images. My blue sky is a 5, so now I've selected those as being 5. They're gone. As I continue through the process, I'm going to look for all my blue skies first, which in this particular wedding there wasn't a whole lot of them. Second, easiest for me to see are high key images. So things that pop off the screen are these white backgrounded images. And so I'm going to go through and I'm going to start selecting all of my high key images, which is a 4. And then I can, especially seeing as how it was cloudy during the ceremony, and a lot of our images are white backgrounded, I can take large swaths of photos and move them straight into the 4-star category. Also here during the reception, a lot of these images are shot into the window because we don't have any choice, and so they're going to be high key images as well, which of course is the 4 that we just went over. So all these ones that are a whole bunch of white, then I'm going to put into 4 stars and get rid of those out of my overall selection. And again, I'm just going through here. Then, you know what, we can hop over to anything that your eye catches. Family photos, you can get rid of a big chunk of family photos. We always do them in the same location, so they all look similar. Our family photos are a 7, so I can take this big old chunk of family photos and make it a 7. If you've got too many different types all in a row, you can also sort by camera type when doing this to make it easier for you, or I can select which camera I want to use for this. Okay, so I'm going to select just one camera at a time. All right, these are all window light images. Window light is a 1. I'm selecting all of those. And then I'll show you what we end up with. All right, so now that we've put them all into the different tones, as we select through each of our star options and our color label options, we'll be left with all of the photos the same type throughout the wedding. So all of these are shot by window light. All of these shot by shade or cloudy day. That same kind of look. It's the same tone. Full sun on the couple, or images shot with full sun, which wasn't a whole lot on this day. High key images, so again, all of the white ones. Blue sky images, all the ones that we're going to want to enhance the sky and make that beautiful. When we remove our stars back to 0 and just start looking at our labels, now we've got all the details lined up. We've got all of the, see, I didn't take that off there. all of the family photos in the same spot, all of the cocktail hour. We'll also put a few images in here that we're not necessarily sure what to do. So these were a little, these ones up top, they were a little bit different. We put those into that same cocktail hour folder, and you'll start to learn where to put them and how to process them from there. Anything shot with flash, so dark images with flash, and there we have it. We are ready to start applying our presets.